All right, I'm going to take a deeper dive into the Elias Pettersson charging penalty. And there's no scenario, first of all, where this is anything close to a late hit by Warren Foegele. You look at him here, Pettersson still has the puck on his stick. Foegele is already engaged, already initiated, and he does not deviate from his path of travel in any way, shape, or form to force a hit that wasn't already there. That is a bang-bang play, and Pettersson was more than eligible for contact there, legal contact. Look at it again from this point of view. Foegele is on approach. He's got both feet planted, and what he needs to do is take an angle of approach that takes him to his left and back out around to Pettersson's shoulder and chest. And the shoulder is still available there in that pattern. He does move to his left and then back to his right to get outside Pettersson, and he's lined up exactly with where his target was. So it's the perfect angle of approach, the perfect timing for this contact by Warren Foegele. So let's stop blaming the victim here and focus on what Pettersson does. And the one thing I hear the most is Pettersson was just absorbing contact. Well, if he was going to absorb contact, he should have braced differently. In this case, it's very calculated. He plays the puck, times it just right, turns his back to the oncoming player, and then puts himself in a position where he can counter that force. So in a way, he is bracing for contact, but he's doing so in a way that he's applying a counter force. He doesn't just jump straight up. And that's the other thing I hear is he just jumped straight up in the air. He didn't jump into his opponent. Wrong. Watch what he does. He pivots, and then see how his right foot is still planted on the ice? His left foot is off the ice, but his right foot was still planted, so that he can push off of his right foot to counter that angle of approach that Warren Foegele had to take. Foegele was going out and around and then back to his right, and Pettersson wants to counter by pushing off and going backwards to his left, which is exactly what he does. Watch it again here. Pettersson is intentionally planting his right foot and driving his upper body back into the left, and look at his legs come out like he's sitting in a chair. That's on purpose, because his upper body's going backwards, so his lower body comes forward. He is jumping back into his opponent that's coming. The argument that he was standing still is only true up to the point where he leaves his feet and jumps, and then he's no longer standing still. Yeah, Warren Foegele is initiating the check, but by jumping and leaning, Pettersson is actively participating in that contact now. He's not just bracing and accepting contact. He is now actively participating and taking actions to intentionally counteract that contact. And that choice to counter the oncoming contact by taking action that creates velocity the opposite way, that creates force the opposite way, is by definition Pettersson initiating his own counter check. So the onus is on him to do it safely and legally, and jumping into contact is not safe or legal. If you want to argue all day about how this was singled out amongst all the other things that weren't called, I'm right there with you. I don't know why this was called and other things weren't. But what we can't say is that this isn't a penalty.